It's been a while now since I've done a pickups video from here in the collection room, and in that time I've been steadily building a nice little pile of action figures from one of my all-time favourite toy lines. It's time to talk turtles.
The mutant teenage turtles use martial arts to fight the bad guys. We don't know why they're teenagers. If it looks foolish to you, you don't know how to recognize a $350 million a year industry when you see it, but Alan Cox does.
Eric Johansson is rushing down the aisle at Target because he's learned an important lesson. You got to get to the store as soon as it opens to get a shot at the turtle of your dreams, or one of the nearly dozen bad guys, and a costume set. No, not that one.
I guess this one's not as cool.
And for high rollers, the sewer playset.
Want sewer swimming Donatello? Or do you want the racking? Or...
I just got the vacuum.
It's entertainment and it seems relatively harmless.
G'day guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been quite a while now since I've done a video from the collection room. As you may know, I've had my dad staying with me while he's been looking for a new place to live. He's been camping out right here in the collection room. I helped him move into his new house a few days ago, and I couldn't be happier to be back here sharing with you guys some vintage Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figure pickups. Let's get straight into it. Alrighty guys, we'll run through these in year order. So we're going to start from 1989 and then we're going to move into the 90s. And we're going to start with my only standalone accessories pickup this time round. And I picked up the two accessories needed to complete my childhood Rat King figure. So there we have him guys. We've got the grappling hook. It doesn't have the string. I'm not going to sweat the string. I'm going to consider this guy complete. And we've also got the crossbow. And as I mentioned guys, this is my childhood Rat King figure. I absolutely love this figure. It's one of my all-time favorites from the line. You know, it's an awesome sculpt. It's got beautiful colors. I love that crazy face with those rabid red eyes. I love the rotten, you know, mummified clothing full of rats and centipedes. So, you know, from a nostalgia perspective, he's one of my favorites. You know, this character obviously played a pretty prominent role in the original animated series that I used to love, but above all, he's just a damn cool figure. So really happy now to have the accessories to complete my childhood Rat King. And what this means is, with the exception of one Ace Duck grenade and one accessory apiece for the wacky action Raph and Mikey figures, I've now got the 1989 series complete for the Turtles. So really happy to pick up the accessories for these guys and tick another one off the list. All right guys, now we move to 1990 with a complete figure that's proved to be a fairly elusive one to get my hands on, but I'm glad I finally have, and I'm talking about Ray Fillet or Ray Fillet, I guess, depending on how you pronounce that. So from what I understand, there's a few different variants of this figure. Here we have, I guess, what's called the Brown V version. The version of this figure that I've really been trying to hold out for is the version that's got like the green and gold jumper. So like the yellow shirt with the green, with that bright green V. I think it looks the coolest, and to me it kind of looks like an old school Australian rugby team shirt. So I was kind of trying to get that, but I'm still really happy to have this guy complete with his gun, his fish, his little starfish weapon, Scarfish I think he's called, and his little buddy fish sticks. I absolutely love these little you know, sidekicks that a lot of the figures came with from 1990 onwards. There's a lot of detail in this little guy. We've got what looks like a prawn or a shrimp with like a bunch of sticks of dynamite strapped to him. So he's awesome, he's all ready to go. And I've been actually thinking about maybe doing like a standalone video on some of these sidekick accessories where we look at them more closely. But anyway, that's for another day. Really happy to have Ray Fillet. He's in pretty good condition. I mean, he looks like at one point or another he was a bath toy. You know, the chest area is faded. I don't know if that's just age or if that's to do with the watercolor action feature of these guys. But in any case, I'm happy that we can now tick Ray Fillet off the list, and he is complete. So we're off and running for 1990. So now we stick with 1990 with another complete figure that was released during that year. And I'm talking about Panda Khan. If you watched a previous Turtles pickups video of mine, you would have seen that I picked up a Panda Khan last year. He wasn't complete. He was missing some armor pieces and missing a couple of weapons. This guy is complete. I mentioned variants for the Ray Fillet figure. I believe there are a couple of variants for Panda Khan, and this guy being the white face variant. I'm not crazy about variants, guys. I don't tend to just collect them to try and have them all. You know, I just like to have one complete example of each figure in my collection. Comparing this to the more grey-faced figure that I picked up previously, I think I like the grey-faced version better. But I don't know if one or the other's, you know, particularly more rare or valuable. If you happen to know, if you could drop me a comment, that'd be awesome. But just based on appearance alone, I think I'm gonna, you know, stick with the grey face, the other version that I've got. I think he's got a little bit less paint rubbing as well, so we might have to do a bit of a transfer of some of these armor pieces and you know, move the weapons over to the grey faced version. Then we'll have it complete, and you know, I can find another home for this guy. But he's got his sword, he's got his battle axe weapon, he's got this weapon here, which I believe is called a goo hook or gow hook, and then we've got a pistol accessory here as well. So we've got a nice complete Panda Khan, a classic character from 1990 in the collection. So that's awesome. Alrighty guys, next we've got a figure that I thought was complete, but upon closer inspection, unfortunately it turns out he's not, and I'm talking about Slash. Now, if you watch my Collecticon Penrith video recently, my Collecticon Penrith pickups video, I picked up a complete Slash, but before that, I ordered this Slash along with Panda Khan and a couple of other figures that we'll get to from an eBay seller in the US. He bundled up a deal for me. Normally, I'm not crazy about, you know, sourcing figures internationally because of, you know, shipping and import fees and all those types of things. But Slash, up until Collecticon, had proved to be a really challenging figure for me to get my hands on complete. So I ordered what I thought was a complete version. But let's take a little look at him. We've got a nice version of Slash here. He's got his belt, he has his dagger, he's got his mace weapon, he's got his little sai weapon, which is a cool accessory, so he's got that. And then he's got this, which I've got no idea what it is. I'll give you guys a bit of a closer look. If anyone knows what that might be, who that might go with, I knew when I browsed the listing and I chatted with this seller, I knew that Slash came with four accessories. I saw the 4 pink accessories in addition to the belt, and I assumed he's complete, but he obviously turned out to be missing his nunchuck, and he had that other little accessory in its place. I don't know what that is. If you do know, I would really, really appreciate the help. But in any case, at Collecticon, we picked up a complete Slash. I've now got it, so I've just got a spare here. Once again, as I tend to do, I'll compare the versions that I've got. We'll see which one's in nicer shape, and I'll complete him and find another collector for this one. But guys, as I mentioned, it has been a tricky one to get my hands on. He's a really popular character and an awesome figure. Tons of nice detail. Yeah, really, really cool. So very happy to have Slash. And then we've got another figure that I picked up from the US seller. And guys, this one would have to be my pick of the bunch today. This would have to be my favorite figure of this lot that I'm going to show you. And I'm talking about a 1991 complete walkabout kangaroo. Guys, I love this figure. He's got awesome detail, awesome accessories. He's got this very cool elephant gun, I believe it's called. He's got his rucksack accessory. We can't have a stereotypically Australian Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles character and figure without, you know, a boomerang weapon. And Walkabout's another figure that comes with one of these awesome little sidekick accessories. This guy's called, I think, Kangi or Kangi Kid. He looks like a little, either a baby kangaroo or a little wallaby. He's awesome. I'm really happy with this. And guys, I couldn't help but chuckle at the irony of having to resort to importing from the US a figure that's from Sydney. And guys, I'm not even exaggerating in that he's from Sydney. I was actually looking at some detail online of the file card for this figure, and it actually says he's from Sydney, Australia. So you know that when I get these figures all set up on display here in the collection room, I've got to give pride of place to a figure that's actually repping my home city. So that's pretty cool. But a very cool figure, excellent face sculpt. He's got that Aussie spirit. I love the bum bag or fanny pack, whatever you want to call it, where the kangaroo's pouch would be if he were a female. So that's kind of cool. That's a fun play on that. Really nice figure, great condition. So very happy to have 1991 Walkabout completed. And sticking with 1991, next we've got a couple of figures that I picked up without accessories, just standalone loose figures to complement the complete Talking Raph and Talking Donnie figures that I picked up and shared with you guys previously. So here we have Talking Mike and we have Talking Leo. No accessories, you know, just come as they are. They cost me a few bucks each on a Facebook auction. So very happy to have these guys that I can display with my complete Talking Raph and Talking Donnie while I try and source the accessories to go with these guys. But you know, a fun sub-series of the Ninja Turtles vintage figure line. I really like the face sculpts on these figures. It's kind of funny. I mean, I mentioned in one of my earlier videos that I'm really not crazy about the, you know, gimmicky kind of themed versions of all the turtles, but some of the series have grown on me, especially, you know, the themed series of turtles within the first few years, you know, the wacky actions and you know, Turtles in Disguise and whatnot. So, and Talking Turtles is one that just kind of jumps out at me. It's fun. And speaking of which, one thing that I did find kind of interesting with these guys is, as you'd know if you're watching this, when the first wave of Turtles came out, the way their eyes were sculpted and painted was kind of in keeping with the comic book aesthetic without the actual pupils in the eyes. And then when the wacky action Turtles came out, which were kind of fun and playful and you know, a little bit more kind of geared towards the child-aged audience of the action figure line, you know, we had pupils in the eyes to make them look a little bit more fun. Now with the Talking Turtles, and if you know these guys, when they have that action feature of talking, it's like, you know, party on and cowabunga.
All you have to do is just pull the sound strip and... Hey dude, that's my line! Well, how about... Sounds good to me!
You know, they're very much fun, child-oriented characters, but what's interesting is these guys have the more comic book-oriented eye detail. So anyway, that's just a side note that I couldn't help but noticing when I picked these guys up. So Talking Turtles is one of the sub-series that I am trying to complete, and we get a little bit closer with the addition of these two to the collection. Now, speaking of themed, gimmicky turtle variants that originally I said I wasn't going to get into, but I've somehow got drawn into, we've got military turtles as well. So previously I picked up a complete Pro Pilot Don. I also picked up a Teen Green Beret Raph figure, I believe the figure's called. That figure's complete with the exception of the Bulldog sidekick, so I need to get my hands on that. But to help complete the first wave, to join the ranks of the mutant military in my collection, we've got a Lieutenant Leo figure. So this guy came with no accessories. He was just, you know, a few bucks on a Facebook marketplace deal. So I really like the look of this figure. And I'm happy to have him, and we just got to try and get our hands on those accessories to complete Lieutenant Leo. We also have another fun one in the Mutant Military series, and that is Midshipman Mike. So, you know, I really like this figure. We've got some accessories. We've got this kind of crusted barnacled ore accessory, which is kind of cool. These guys all came with like a flag post with an American flag decal. That's obviously missing the decal. We've got the flag post, so I need to try and get a new accessory or get my hands on a decal that'll work from that. But this figure comes with an awesome little sidekick accessory. You know, this is I don't know what the accessory is called, but it's his, you know, it's a seagull. It's his seagull buddy. So we've got an awesome little seagull here with a machine gun and like an ammunition belt strapped around him, so he's all ready for battle as well. This figure's awesome, and this Midshipman Mike, I really like it. He's got that classic, you know, salty Navy sailor. He's all barnacled, you know, like he's come from Davy Jones's locker. So I'm really happy to have Midshipman Mike join the ranks of the mutant military in my collection and get a little bit closer to completing this subline. Sticking with 1991, we've got a figure here that I've been trying to purchase complete. I've been trying to just hold out and get a complete version because I really like him, but you know, I haven't to this point. So I had an opportunity to buy a loose version with no accessories, and I've just picked it up as I guess somewhat of a placeholder in the collection until I can either get a complete version or get accessories to complete this guy. And I'm talking about Dirtbag, 1991 Dirtbag figure. You know, a really fun character, you know, a cool figure. I guess when you've got a toy line or a franchise where both the heroes and the villains of the series live in underground settings, I think it makes all the sense in the world to have a mutant mining mole. So you know, a fun addition to the range and to my collection. And look forward to getting his accessories and completing him. Now I know from memory, or kind of, you know, from just research and indulging in my passion, I know that you know, in the animated series, Dirtbag kind of, you know, was I guess one of two henchmen kind of in cahoots with Ground Chuck. I've got a Ground Chuck figure behind me over here on a really bad card. Like, he's stapled on, it's hanging on by a thread. So my plan is to get this guy complete, and then to bust out the staples on that card and get Ground Chuck out and display these guys together complete, because I know that, you know, those characters were kind of associated within the animated series, and I think they go nicely together. So he's not complete. Definitely trying to get my hands on these accessories to complete him, but still happy to have a loose Dirtbag in the collection. All right, guys, for the last pickup I'm going to share with you guys today, we go to 1992 with a figure that's a pretty silly one, if I'm honest. This is not necessarily a figure that I've been set, or a subline of the Turtles that I've been setting out to collect. Reason I picked it up was it's from the US seller that from whom I got the Panda Khan, the Slash, and the Walkabout Kangaroo. When we were negotiating a deal, as part of that deal was going to be a complete Chrome Dome figure, which I was really excited about. Before I could send payment and confirm, another customer jumped on the Chrome Dome, so he made me a really good deal on this figure. And I thought, if I'm paying for postage from the US, I'd rather have 4 figures than 3 figures. Anyway, I'll stop rambling. But I'm talking about Crazy Clown and Mike. You know, a bit of a silly one, but you know, we've got a fun action feature, and we've got some really cool sculpt details and crazy color. So this guy's going to look nice on display. We've got some of his accessories. We've got the sock accessory, which I'm not really sure as to what the point of that is. I don't know. But anyway, we've still got it. It's cool. We've got a pie, like a cherry pie accessory. And then we've got some birthday balloons, which are kind of cool. So from my understanding of this figure, the only thing that he's missing with the pie, the sock, and the balloons are his braces, his suspenders that he should have on here, holding up these ridiculous pants. So we just need those to complete him. I think he came with a name sheet, so you could put your name on the other side of these balloons. But anyway, I'm not really going to hold out for that, but it'd be nice to get those suspenders just so I could complete him. But with that said, happy to have him in the collection, but I don't think I'm going to go out of my way to chase down those. You know, I think the series is called Bodacious Birthday Turtles. I don't think I'm going to go out of my way for it, but it's still cool to have a Crazy Clown and Mike in the collection. Alrighty guys, that's it for the pickups today. The Turtles collection continues to steadily increase, and I'm getting there in terms of ticking off the first 5 waves, which is my goal with the Turtles collection. 1988 we're there, with the exception of some April O'Neil accessories. 1989 we're there, aside from the 3 accessories I mentioned earlier. And then 1990, 91, 92, I'm well underway. And I'm enjoying it, and I'm enjoying sharing them with you. And I hope you guys are enjoying seeing the pickups as well. Very soon I'm going to be buying myself another one of these cabinets, so I can do the collection justice. I can get more out on display, because I've got too much boxed up at the moment. I've got too much still in mailer boxes that they're still sitting here. I haven't even put them on display. What's the point? I see no point in that. So anyway, that's that. As far as my next video goes, I've got some VHS, some 80s and 90s VHS here that I want to share with you guys. On this wall that you can't see, that's where I want to have almost like a display that's kind of reminiscent of an 80s or early 90s video store. So that's what we're doing with that, but I'm going to save that for another day. And another point I want to make is I want to take advantage of the collection room, the space while I've got it, the motivation while I've got it, to dial up the frequency of these videos a bit. I've been a bit sporadic with it. I want to start to build some momentum and pump these out a little bit more frequently. But guys, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit that subscribe button. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments section. If you've got childhood memories of any of these figures that I've shared with you guys, I'd love to hear them. And if you're an adult collector of turtles, I'd love to know what you guys are picking up or what you're chasing, what you're hunting down, whether it's turtles or other toy lines. I'm always interested to hear from you guys. But that's it for today. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.